Good morning, Thrifty Adventurers. Laura here for another What Sold from the Weekend video. Sorry I did not get back to you last week. It was crazy and it got busy and I had estate sales and all that fun stuff, and I just did not get a chance to get that video in, but I'll make up for it today. We have some great sales from the weekend. I'll try to fit in that Disney video later on during the week, so stay tuned for that. If you're new to my channel, my name is Laura. I'm a full-time reseller for about the past 5 years, part-time before that. I have 2 young kids, and I sell mostly on eBay, but I have eBay and Facebook and Posh and Mercari and Etsy and Bonanza and everything else included. But eBay is my main love, and that's where most of these sales are from. I am going to go over my numbers from the past week, and then I will show you my sales that I had going out today from the weekend. And that's about it. If you can, like, subscribe, comment down below. That's how I get to more people. That's how I teach more people. That's how we all learn, and that is why I do this. That is how I learned, and that's how I wanted to give back and tell everybody my knowledge now. So if you could do that, I would greatly appreciate it. Other than that, let's get into these numbers. My numbers do not include shipping in them. The buyer pays for shipping, so I don't include that in my numbers. These are just the sale prices. I sold 48 items, a little lower than normal, but I had some higher priced items, so I am okay with that. For $1,678.04, $290 were my cost of goods. My fees were $251.71 for a total profit of $1,136.33. And yeah, I think my average sale price was around $34 to $35, which is right in line of where I like to see it. Other than that, we are going to get into what sold. All right. Let's kick this off. First things first, we have Mickey Carol, Christmas Carol ornament. These are storybook ornament sets. So they come in a book that looks like a storybook, hence the name. And there's all different ones. There's Aladdin's and Little Mermaids, and I have a bunch of them listed in my store, which is a little bit of everything if anybody ever wants to see any of what I have listed in my stuff. But let's get back to it. So Storybook Ornaments, these are great to find. The movie ones tend to do better. The Aladdin's or the Alice in Wonderland, Lion King, the actual movie ones tend to do better than just like the Mickey ones. But they still do well. I actually bought these off of Facebook Marketplace. Someone was selling them for $15. I bought them and sold them for $41.46. Next were 2 vintage sweaters. Meister was the brand, M-E-I-S-T-E-R. I have never heard of this brand. I can kind of tell it was vintage by the tag and just the style of the sweater. But I found these at Salvation Army. They have been listed for a long time. I only bought them because there was 2 of them. They were in the same size. I don't buy too much vintage men's clothing. It doesn't normally do too well, and it normally sits for a while unless I know the brand. It's a really good brand. But since I didn't know this brand, I only got them they were $2.50 each, so I only spent $5 on them. And like I said, I like lotting them together. They tend to normally do better for me that way when it comes to certain clothing items. So these I sold for $35. So not too bad, but they did sit for a while. Don't know if I buy them again, but it was still a good profit. Next were Pokemon cards. I've talked about them in my past couple videos. I don't know much about Pokemon cards at all. I bought a huge box of them at a garage sale last summer, and I just started listing them within the past month just because I know Pokemon cards are hot right now, so it's something to look for. But there's a lot to know about them, and I just don't know. I went through the box and I just pulled out the ones that were the same or the same type of character, and I lotted them together that way. I did try to do some research. It didn't seem like I had anything crazy in the slot, crazy rare, so I put them up there and I got an offer of $18. I decided to take that. I had already sold a whole bunch of them last week, which I think I have in a video a couple weeks ago. But if not, I sold a lot of them. They were like first edition ones, and I sold them on auction for, I think it was like $120 or somewhere in that area. So I already well made my money back on that, so I'm okay with just selling off these other ones now. I still have tons left, so we'll see if I get to them. But anyways, next was a vintage Mickey Mouse t-shirt. This is actually one of the items I bought from the estate sale that took me away from you guys last week. But it was a vintage t-shirt, and it was Mickey Mouse's birthday, so it was from, I think, the 80s, 89, something like that. And it had a little bit of yellowing on it. It was brand new. It had its tag, so it was new old stock. But it did have some yellowing in the graphic just from age. And yes, I did put that in the listing. But it still will sell with flaws. I have tons of t-shirts I got from that estate sale, and a lot of them do have yellowing or some flaws. But I still priced them all pretty high. They still can do really well for you. So I sold this one for $49.95. I bought it for $12. And it sold for full price within, I think it was the same day I listed it that it sold. So vintage Disney t-shirts you definitely want to look out for. Next was a Department 56 item. This is something I've also talked in my past videos about an estate sale that I bought out. So if you want to hear more about that, you can go check out my other videos. But I bought a huge lot, and on average, I have $4 invested in each listing. So this one I sold for $15.54, so nothing crazy, but I've already well into the profit margin on that one as well, so I'm happy with that. Next was a vintage Sailboat shirt. I think it was like PGB was the brand. It was not anything crazy, but it was definitely vintage, so I had the shoulder pads in it. So I think it was like 80s or 90s. I got this from a family friend. I got huge bags of clothing from her. So I only paid about $1 each for each item. This still had the tags on it. So it ended up selling for $16.36. So not too bad. Next is another Storybook Ornament set that I actually got on Facebook again. These were 75th anniversary ones. This was, I think, Mickey and Friends. And I also got this for $15, and I ended up selling it for $58. They were new. They were all still in its plastic, so great condition. But make sure you're always looking out for these sets because they do sell well. Next was a huge lot of Barbie Happy Meal toys. This I got in an auction. I normally get them really cheap because no one really looks at the Happy Meal toys. And they can sit for a lot, but I normally do really well with them, and it's not too hard of a listing when they're all new. I don't get them if they're opened, and only get them if I can get a large quantity of them. So I got a huge box of these for about $5. Like I said, I did sit on it for a few months, but it ended up selling for $50 plus shipping, so I'm happy with that. Next was a Fort Wilderness Disney plush set. This I also got from that estate sale this week. This is Fort Wilderness is an old park that's inside of the park, so this is a great set to look for. Anything Fort Wilderness can be great to look for. They retire parks and retire rides, and those are great to keep in the news on. Because when they retire those, the value definitely goes up. So this I got for $6. It was brand new with its tag, and it sold for $79.95 within a few hours of me listing it. So not too bad there. Next was a Hampton flatware set. I got this at Salvation Army a while ago. It has taken a few months for it to sell. I spent $20 on it, but it was brand new. It was a nice, easy listing. And it ended up selling for $106.56 plus shipping, so not too bad there. Got it in a big box, and I ship all my heavy stuff FedEx normally, so I always put FedEx first on there, and off that went. I had to go to FedEx today to drop off these packages, you guys. It's like a crazy snowstorm outside, by the way. I just had friends over this past weekend for a bonfire and grilling, and today it's like a blizzard. Wonderful Illinois weather. But let's keep going. Next is a Monopoly ornament. I like Monopoly stuff. It's fun. People do collect it. This was vintage. I only spent like $2 on it. I sold it for $16. So not a crazy big sale, but just a fun sale. I like all of the novelty collectibles. I just enjoy thrifting them. Next is a Department 56 Green Gate item. This was a limited edition item. It will always say that right on the box, and it has a number for easy research. It sold for $35. Once again, I only spent $4. Next was a bathing suit. I do well with bathing suits. I only sell them if they're brand new with tags. It's just my preference. I spent about only $1 on this. This is also from the family friend that I had, and it sold for $20. Next was this Giovanni dress. I don't normally buy huge like prom type dresses. They normally sit for a while, but this one just, I loved the look of it, and I just thought it was beautiful. So I bought this at Savers for $12, and to my surprise, it sold within just a few weeks, which I was so happy for $100. I had a lot of interest in it. So I was very happy to get rid of it and to sell it fast to make that quick flip. So Giovanni, I don't know if it was the brand or the look. I think it was a little of both, and it's the correct season for it. So look out for those really fancy, nice beaded prom dresses. Next was a bear in a big blue house. It was a little snow globe, also from that estate sale that I went to. Bear in a big blue house. You don't see a lot of that stuff, so I always pick that up. It is collectible for sure, even the plushes, so I always grab them. This one I got for $6, and I sold it for $27 the same day. This is one that actually did sell on Mercari. And then the next two are Poshmark. So I got this vintage Broncos sweater at Goodwill for just a few dollars, and I sold it for $30. And they, of course, pay for shipping on Poshmark, so I didn't have to worry about that. That was nice. Always look out for vintage sweaters, especially sports teams and sportswear always do well. And then last but not least was this American rag. It was like a vest, but it's like a longer vest, like almost like, it looks like a Navy military type style. I got it in a bag sale, so I only spent about 85 cents for this, and it sold for $25. They paid full price on Poshmark. I was quite happy with that. But other than that, that is all my sales from this week. Woohoo! So those are all gone. I am going to go get to work. I have a listing challenge in my group on Facebook, Thrifty Adventures, if you want to join on over there. So I need to go and get to listing so I can meet my challenge. Other than that, once again, please like, subscribe, comment down below if you have any questions. Let me know. I hope you have a great week. I will talk with you soon. Go have yourself a thrifty adventure. Bye-bye.